Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz Interview Series with jazz saxophonist and composer Uri Gurvich. He was born and raised in Israel and is on the heels of releasing 2017's album Kinship. He got his chops groomed in the Tel Aviv Orchestra, and at the age of 20, he won the Jazz Player of the Year competition in his native Israel before coming to the Berklee College of Music, studying under the great Joe Lovano. He has performed concerts in the U.S., Europe, South America, Asia, and so many other places around the world. He's very journeyed and very good at what he does. So get to know him and dig this interview, my friends. Thank you for taking a minute out for me today. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.
Absolutely. So let me go ahead and dive right in here and ask you about your latest album, 2017's Kinship. Talk to me about how you feel. How do you feel about this album now that it's out and the public has their hands on it?
Well, I think I feel good about it. The band has been playing together for about 10 years, so I think that kind of connection came out in the recording. And I hope, that the people will also feel that when they check out the music. A lot has been put into that album. So, I'm pretty happy about it. Yeah, it's hard to know about your own stuff, so.
Yeah. Well, that's a long time to be together and to turn out an album, so it probably felt good, I'm sure. So let me ask you this. Were you born and raised in Israel?
Yes, I was born and raised in Israel, and I came here. Well, I came to Berklee to attend Berklee when I was 22, so that's what brought me to the States. Then I moved to New York about 12 years ago. Yeah. Okay, well, how did you get into jazz? How did that happen? I kind of got into it, because of two reasons. First of all, my brother was a jazz guitarist. He's older than me, so he was kind of checking out records, and we had some vinyls at home. And then also my teacher that time in Israel, when I was about maybe 13, he kind of brought me into the jazz world, and he gave me some records to check out, and I kind of got hooked on it already then. So, and jazz education in Israel is pretty big, actually. There's a lot of great teachers and great players. So, it was pretty early on that I got into jazz.
What musicians or albums did you get hooked on that really got you into the jazz groove?
Well, back then I had a lot of albums, classics like a lot of Charlie Parker and a lot of Cannibal Adderley. So I was really checking out, especially playing the alto, I was checking out those two guys really kind of religiously, and then later on I discovered other musicians, but it was mainly a lot of Charlie Parker, Cannibal Adderley. Later on I got into Coltrane, Sonny Rollins, Joe Henderson.
So let me ask you this: what kind of experiences did you have as being a member of the Tel Aviv Orchestra and even coming to Berklee and studying with Joe Lovano? Those were kind of early learning experiences for you. What were those like for you to grow as a musician?
Well, playing in the Tel Aviv Orchestra, it was great. It was my first kind of professional experience as a player because we played in a lot of festivals in Israel, and it was just kind of my first experience, being a member of a band and just playing with other musicians which were older. So I was I think I was the youngest at that time when I joined the band. So it was really kind of like a lesson right there, playing with these older musicians and just getting the kind of real life experience. So that was really the first professional experience I had. And then when I came to Berklee, that was an incredible experience. I still, I'm still trying to figure out what I learned there. But it was, just amazing teachers. And the players actually in my band I met while at Berklee. So it's really, I have a lot of kind of long-lasting relationships from Berklee, either with teachers or fellow students that till nowadays, I really most of the people I play with are people I met at Berklee, so it was really kind of life-changing experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So on your path to getting to New York City, you finally make it. What was it like to play the Village Vanguard for the first time? I'm sure you know about the lore there and the history. Was that an incredible experience?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was very special experience. You know, I grew up listening to the albums recorded there, of Train, you know, and others, and then to be there in the room, it's really haunted. You know, you can kind of feel that spirit there and the sound, and it's a really magical place. There's all those spirits there, all these people that play there. So yeah, it was a very special moment, definitely.
So, speaking of the Village Vanguard and having those voices that were there, if you could go back in time and see a musician, a jazz musician specifically, where would you go in a time machine, and who would you see?
Yeah, definitely I will go there to see those live at the Village Vanguard, Coltrane, you know, he's showing with Eric Dolphy and all those albums that were recorded there. That would be great to kind of experience it in that room. You know, once you're there, you really have that kind of spiritual experience. Even I go there a lot to see shows, you know, and always there's that feeling there. It's just a special room. So that would be great to go back and experience that live.
Absolutely. So let me ask you a general question. Why do you love jazz?
Well, I think initially I got into it. I just thought it's cool, you know. I like maybe the rhythm of it, and then later on, it's really I love the freedom that jazz offers to first of all the players and the audience. It's just kind of a very open platform experience, creating in the moment. It's always exciting. You know, it just has kind of endless opportunity to explore within the form and with other musicians. It's a very special feeling, experience, both as a player and as audience. It's a great art form.
So where do you want to see your career in, say, 10 to 15 years from now? What are your expectations in your jazz life?
Well, it's hard to know, but I just, you know, hope to keep growing as a player, as a person, and just keep creating music, make more albums, and play, you know, perform in places I didn't get to perform yet, and just reach people, you know, and with the music, and hopefully give them some experience that change their life in some way in that moment. So that's really the goal. Yeah.
Right on. So everyone has a version of you. Your family, your friends, your fans. Everyone has a perception of who you are. But who do you think you are when you face the day and you live your life? Who are you?
Wow, that's a hard question. Well, definitely, I'm kind of, you know, a summary of things the way I grew up. My family, my friends, this experience I had, you know, as an immigrant also here in the States. All those things I think kind of make, you know, who you are. So I think William is kind of like a thing in the process still, which I didn't figure out yet, but I'm in the journey to find it out. So
I love it. I love it. It's open-ended. I dig it. Yeah, and I think that's a great way to wrap everything up. Thank you for taking a minute out today to talk about Kinship and to talk about your life. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to presenting you to my audience.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to yet another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in Israel, Chicago, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Uri for his time, his honesty, and his music. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino on the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com. And for everything Neon Jazz, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.